If you had told me a year ago that my marriage would be ambushed by floral arrangements and RSVP cards, I'd have laughed. Maybe not laughed, chuckled bitterly, at most. But here I am, standing on the threshold of a story that feels like it should belong to someone else. We met through friends, Lauren and Iami, a structural engineer with an allergy to chaos. Her, a free spirit in love with sunrises, houseplants, and expensive coffee. Ours was a slow burn, the kind of romance built on familiarity and inside jokes until it wasn't. Our friends, Marissa and Dan, were getting married. Big affair, vineyard ceremony, the works. And since I was Dan's best man, we were knee-deep in wedding plans for months. That's where he came in, the planner. Jesse Palmer. A walking Pinterest board with charm that could sell ice to penguins. I should have known when Lauren called him a visionary. I brushed it off at first. Jesse was charismatic, yes, but harmless. Right? The first time I noticed something off, it was subtle. A glance too long. A compliment that lingered. Lauren brushed them aside. He flirts with everyone, she said. But she started attending planning sessions I wasn't invited to. Marissa asked me to come, she'd say, offhandedly, while adjusting her lipstick in the mirror. Then there were the texts. Meeting went long, we stopped for wine, he's just helping me choose table linens. I wanted to trust her, I did. We'd been together 7 years, married for 5. We had traditions, favorite shows, Sunday brunches. How does all that disappear in the space between two people? One night, she came home late, past midnight. Hair tousled, perfume faint but unfamiliar. She didn't see me sitting in the darkened living room until I spoke. You said you'd be back at 10. She jumped, clutching her bag. It ran late. Jesse insisted on showing me the reception layout in person. At midnight? Her eyes flared, then softened. I'm tired, let's not fight. But I couldn't sleep. That night, I opened her laptop. I had never done that before, never thought I'd need to. It wasn't hard to find. An email thread labeled venue details, but inside were no floor plans, no flower suggestions. Just photos. Of her. Candids, laughter, a hand brushing her cheek. Words that cut me like glass. I think about you at night. I wish we didn't have to sneak around. And her reply, me too. Every day I see him, I feel like a liar. I sat in that glow of betrayal, the silence around me louder than anything she could have said. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This was a second life she had built within our marriage. The next morning, I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed time. Space. Proof, maybe. A reason to believe it wasn't just me unraveling. So I did what I never thought I'd do, I followed her. To one of their supposed design meetings. She didn't meet him at the venue. She met him at a hotel. And I stood there, across the street, my heart pounding in my ears, watching the woman I thought I knew walk into a building like she had nothing to hide. That's the moment something inside me snapped. I didn't go home right away. I drove for hours, through back roads and highways, trying to make sense of how you go from forever to this. From I do to I didn't mean to. When I finally walked back into our house, it felt different, colder, unfamiliar. Like I was intruding on someone else's life. Lauren was asleep in bed. Peaceful. Like her world wasn't on fire. The days after that night bled into each other. I functioned, went to work, made small talk, washed dishes, but it all felt mechanical. Lauren kept being Lauren. Making our coffee, humming in the kitchen, folding my laundry like everything was fine. Like she wasn't carrying someone else's fingerprints on her skin. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to, but every time I looked at her, I remembered that look on her face from the hotel door, light, unburdened. The kind of face I hadn't seen in our house in months. So I waited. I waited until the wedding. Marissa and Dan's big day, the one Jesse had supposedly saved with his impeccable vision and taste in champagne flutes. Lauren was radiant that day. Not because of me. She wore a soft green dress, the kind that fluttered around her knees, and when Jesse spotted her during the rehearsal, his eyes lit up in a way that made my blood feel like ice. He didn't even try to hide it. That night, I watched them. Quiet glances. A hand grazing her lower back. She tried to play it off. But I knew. I had always known. Back in our room, she sat at the edge of the bed, unzipping her heels. Long day, she sighed, rubbing her ankle. I sat across from her, something solid in my chest. You love him? She froze. Heel in hand. What? You heard me. Her voice dropped. Why are you asking me that? I saw the emails. The pictures. The hotel. Silence. Then, finally, she whispered, I didn't mean for it to happen. That's the part that broke me. Not the cheating, not even the lies, but that old, tired phrase. I didn't mean for it to happen. Like she tripped and fell into someone else's bed. Like love and betrayal were accidents. She stood slowly, eyes wide with tears that didn't quite fall. It was a mistake. How long? I asked. Her lips parted. 3 months. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I had guessed less. 3 months of sleeping beside me, kissing me, planning our next vacation. Don't do this. No, I said. You don't get to pull the emergency brake now. You had your escape hatch. You used it. She walked to the window, arms crossed. I felt like I was suffocating. And Jesse gave you air? I asked. She didn't respond. Didn't need to. You could have told me, I said, standing. You could have said you were unhappy, that you needed space, clarity, anything. But you made me your fool. I didn't want to hurt you. You did it anyway. For the next few days, we existed like ghosts. No fights, no screaming. Just silence, like grief settling over a wake. A week later, I moved out. Just a duffel bag and a small box of essentials. No dramatic goodbye. She stood by the doorway and watched, arms folded, eyes rimmed with guilt. As I reached the car, she called out, Are you ever coming back? I paused. Not because I didn't have an answer, but because part of me still remembered our first kiss. Our wedding. The way she'd once clutched my hand during thunderstorms. No, I said. It's been 6 months. I'm renting a place near the city. Small, quiet. I joined a hiking group. Started cooking again. I don't know what Lauren's up to, I haven't blocked her, but I haven't checked either. Sometimes I think about that wedding, the irony of it all. How she dressed up in a ribbon-tied lie to celebrate someone else's forever. But mostly, I think about healing. Not the kind that fixes everything, but the kind that lets you breathe again. The kind that lets you laugh without the weight of pretending. Jesse may have planned a wedding. But I walked away from a funeral. And that, I think, takes more courage.